This is the future.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Sigvalgrim here and welcome to another video. In this one we're going to talk about ATROCITUS. I'm going to show you kind of the best teams that I've used on the main accounts and some budget teams that you can use if you don't have access to so many things. So the main problem with this dude, I don't even think the power drain works as far as I remember, though we'll see when we take a look again at the fights. But the main thing about this dude is chaos tagging, which means you can't control the way your character's tag in and out. So there is no doubt that you're going to need 2 characters at most active at the same time, because if you get 3 characters cycling in and out, it's just not going to be optimal. You're going to have at most 2 characters at the same time. You can start with 2 characters in your team, or you can start with 3 characters and get one of them voluntarily killed early. Or you can start with 2 or 3 characters in the team and get 2 of them killed. Or one of them if you start only with 2, and leave only your damage dealer alive. So you no longer suffer from the chaos random tagging effects. But yeah, we'll take a look at a few options that you guys have, and then I'll go back in the roster and present you some more options other than the ones that I used. But yeah, all that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so on my main account, first fight, I made the rather unfortunate decision to start with the Batman Ninja team here. So my logic was, oh, this is kind of like Horrific Scarecrow, so we can do this. But there's 2 things I did not account for. I did not account for the Chaos tagging. Actually, I did account for that, but I did not account for only Chaos tagging being there, because with Scarecrow, there's also split damage between your characters. So he's gonna split all the damage that he deals throughout your whole team when he fights Ligrid Scarecrow, and that will make it far easier for him to kill your entire team, which is not gonna be the case here. This still will take a very long time to kill my Grodd and my Robin, and keep in mind I did remove the gears. So I'm not sure this was really the best decision to go with the Batman Ninja team. And I do have Beta Club. If you don't have Beta Club, don't even try the Batman Ninja team here. It's just not gonna be worth it. Just go with Inflant Aquaman. But I really believe that the Batman Ninja team will be able to kill this. Robin unfortunately gets tagged right before he would have gotten killed, and that's very annoying. And another thing that I forgot to take account of is that we're gonna have by far not an optimal gameplay with the Batman Ninja team here, because they rely heavily on combo interruption, especially Batman Ninja Catwoman. And in normal, at the very least, you can't combo interrupt properly, because yet again is the old AI of the character. And combo interruption became a thing not from the start of the game, but later on when the AI was changed. Because now the AI currently, except the one in normal swords that are going to came recently to Injustice Mobile, except for this scenario. For the most part, it's gonna be normal AI, but here, the AI is not gonna feel like they need to do like 2 to 3 basic attack hits before they are going to throw a special. They might just randomly throw a special at you. And that's gonna not make the combo interruption an optimal endeavor. And also, by the time we got our whole team killed and we got to the optimal scenario when Catwoman is facing him alone, we already lost a lot of time of the battle. We had only 1 minute and a half left. I think it would have been really more optimal to give up on Grodd here if I was to use this team, though yet again using this team here was a mistake. If I gave up on Grodd, I would have had 1 less character to get killed. I could have started building lethal with Catwoman earlier, because I wouldn't have to worry about debuffing his attack, and he would have killed my Robin fast enough. But yeah, sadly, a quite unoptimal choice on my part. But there's plenty of ways to go around this, and I'll go with that in a second. Right here I finally get some decent gameplay and some decent damage in there, and don't get me wrong, if we had 2 minutes of this, if we had 2 minutes of what's happening here towards the end, it would have been fine, but sadly that was not the case. And we get into another tornado. We're gonna throw special 2 in there. Trying to combo interrupt again, but get interrupted by another special again. And yeah, it is what it is, and it's a big fail overall against Boss ATROCITUS. But the thing that he doesn't do is being that threatening with the power training side of things with his specials. Okay, so here is the proper team that you should use if you do have access to those resources. Again, if you don't have access to those resources, I will go over a few more teams on my secondary account, where I do not have Raven or the Beta Club. Over here we're going to go with King with Beta Club on, we're going to go with Raven. And with Dr. Fate, they do have some Dark Metal artifacts for some passive stats, but it's gonna be like level 1 or level 2 artifacts, so it's not gonna matter that much. We got 3 special 2s with King in there. Gonna get Raven in there. Special 1. And yeah, we got the Batarangs on Raven. But again, he doesn't power drain with his abilities. It says he would power drain with his abilities, he doesn't. And I'm not complaining, I'm happy about that. But I'm just noting that you should not really fear that side of him. Only the random tag ins and outs. And he deals a fair bit of damage. Another special 1 in there. You just make sure the darkness does not expire and you apply as much of it as possible. You need to get eventually Dr. Fate kill. I didn't even get the time in this fight to do that, but Dr. Fate needs to die. And you are just safe with King and Raven. And you make sure that right before Raven gets tagged out, you're going to try and use another special 1 so that the cooldown of the darkness gets reset right before she gets tagged out. Now we're fighting over here on the secondary account. We're opening up with Confluent Sakuman and Dr. Fate. I started off with God Killer. God Killer is an option. You get God Killer for free from finishing the last contracts already, normal difficulty. But again, we'll have a fight later on that does not rely on that. And on Dr. Fate, I did have the Jokerized Venom to like give some passive stats to King, but that led to him dying slower because the Jokerized Venom is gonna decrease the attack of the enemy, but only against the wearer of the Dark Venom. So yeah, I'm not sure how worth that was. And here he's able to engage a combo even though I did a swipe down and his block is disabled. But we're gonna keep trying that for a bit. Special train there. Again, if you have a very low threat influence Aquaman team and you know your King is not gonna be able to take too much of a beating, just make sure you get your 3 special trees out of the way. And you just keep doing this until he dies. That's the way you do it if you're really struggling over here. I got super move available, so I'm not gonna use anything, so hopefully I revive with a decent amount of health. Trying to re-engage a combo here with him. Let's go. Swipe down. Re-engage the combo. Special tree, he really needs to be at the wall. He really needs to be at the wall for you to be able to properly try the God Killer combo. But again, that might randomly fail. So do that at your own risk if you have the God Killer. If you don't, we'll get into that in a moment, because I'll be in a situation where it's like I don't have a God Killer in a second here. Because as soon as I'm too low on health, I'll not be able to do this anymore. I'll actually not be wanting to take the risk to do this. And I get hit again and I'm like, oh, no more of this, we can't take the risk anymore. Special train there, re-engage the combo. And over here I did a super move actually, because I was like, this might as well be the last instance of damage I do, but it seems like to an extent you can kind of manipulate him. If you make him jump and then re-engage a combo with him, you're gonna be for the most part fine. But you need to be careful because he's got quite a long range, longer than you expect on that jump damage that he does, as you'll see in the next fight. But for some reason, this dude is not gonna use any of his abilities unless he's very close range to you or he's very far away. So that middle ground is pretty much the perfect place to be. And while I thought I would die right after the super move, we're gonna end up surviving this entire fight because of slowly backing off. And you can do this without God Killer and without any specific artifact. This strategy can be used with anything. With anything and without anything, pretty much. And yeah, that was for the first fight. I wanted to see how the firebox would work, because I was like, well, God Killer is not the most reliable thing, as you have been able to see. So let's see how the firebox works. Again, firebox is an artifact you get for free from Dawn of Apocalypse. Some of you might not have it, but you have the previous strategy for that. So here we're going to let Dr. Fate die real quick. We have actually no, not firebox. I didn't use the firebox. I used the Claw of Force because I think I wanted to use the firebox at first, but then I was like, well, a lot of you are not gonna have it because it's quite unlikely. I mean, not quite unlikely, but it's far more likely that you finished the last contract but haven't finished the Dawn of Apocalypse. So I used Claw of Force. It's an artifact that you'll get from League Raids. It's gonna have a chance to stun the opponent on swipe rights, and that's not gonna be a core mechanic we're gonna utilize. I'm just gonna have it in there as something, just for the sake of not having anything. As you can see, I'm trying to reutilize the previous strategy. And for the start of the battle it worked, but then I think I lost the tempo or the specific way to do it. Gonna back up, block that, re-engage the combo, back off 2 times, and use a special 2. That was slightly unexpected there. But yeah, re-engage the combo on our special tree. As I said, the important part is to do the bare minimum. Okay, so over there I panicked. I could have... Actually, I did not panic. I kept backing off because I wanted him to use super move when I had a decent amount of energy. Okay, that was a good one. Gets stunned again, so we're going to re-engage the combo here. Another special tree. That's percentage damage yet again, and yeah, somehow it got messed up over there and I was unable to chain a swipe after that. And every single time he does the tornado, if you have him all the way to the right corner, you can move all the way to the left corner. So you kind of avoid that tornado side of thing. Special tree no longer dealing percentage damage, so in theory you already did the bare minimum. Okay, over there it was very lucky because so for some reason he used the special tree, but mid-animation he got stunned by my claw force, so that one, I should not have survived that. I should not have survived that. And I get hit there because I didn't back off properly, and we're just gonna end him off with a super move. I mean, not end him off, end this fight off. Because he's still alive, as you can see. There's one more thing you can do, so stick around for that, for when I show some characters in the roster, when I give some tips. Another special tree in there because he got stunned again. He's yet again stunned, so we're going to further continue the combo. Another special tree. Re-engage the combo. No stun on that swipe, so we're gonna back off. I backed off 3 times, that was the mistake. Yeah, fat rip on that one. But yeah, that one pulled enough. Now let's go back into the roster and see what further tips I can give in terms of this. Okay, so the last thing you can actually do here, again using Influence Sakumen, is to actually use the phase 2 tank strategy. I don't think I have Shazam even built as a tank on this account, but I do have him on the secondary. So basically the strategy is you put Dr. Fate, Shazam, and Kinflan Sakumen in the same team, and you're going to get Kinflan Sakumen you're gonna get Dr. Fate killed first, and then you keep the both of them alive, because Shazam, if it's built, unlike mine on this account, should be fairly tanky, and at the same time, if anything goes wrong, he's got the ability to heal himself or Kinflan Sakumen or both of them with a special tree. You might even get a few free triggers from that because of his passives. He's also gonna slightly boost the attack of Kinflan Sakumen, so you just keep both of them in the fight. That is kind of by far the safest one, but doesn't yield that much damage overall, because Shazam is gonna occupy a lot of the fights, being in the fight himself, but at the same time is the safest one. It kind of guarantees that you're going to get 3 special trees out of the way. But yeah, that's just for this one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye!
This is the future.